Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life. Today I'm looking at my neighbor's yard who I've been working on this year, and I want to show you what it did look like and show you what it looks like today. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at Graham Spray Equipment. You can see my spray rig right behind me. If you want to spray a rig like mine, like I use for my business, then go to grahamse.com or check out the link in the description. September when I'm filming this, and it's looked nice for a while. There's still some imperfections, don't get me wrong, but compared to what it used to be to what it is now. And sometimes I want to show you videos like this because sometimes people think, oh, I got to re-sod my whole yard or just start all over, and that's not often the case. I mean, sometimes maybe it is, but in this particular situation, I knew there was enough grass there to work with. And so anyway, let's take a look, see what went right, what still needs to be fixed, and you know, and just show you some old clips of what it used to look like. So here's the lawn, and you're gonna see these brown patches here. These are more mower related, where it's been scalped. There's some uneven spots in the yard, so you can see here where the mower kind of dug in and really scalped that down low. But if you can sort of overlook those, the Bermuda grass, let me see if I can find a decent shot. You know, it's not bad. I mean, I don't think this yard was ever sodded. It's probably just common Bermuda, and there was very little. Matter of fact, let me go right now to the first video when I started working on this yard and show you what it looked like when I first started earlier this year. I told her, I said, hey, give me till the summer. It's gonna look better, okay? All right, so when I look at this yard, like the weeds, we're not gonna fix all the weeds today, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm putting on the yard and then tell you my plan for the future. But, you know, just weeds galore. I mean, these are just cool season weeds, every one you could ever think of. And the part that I'm looking at is this little bit of Bermuda grass that's still in here, okay? Now, in this area, this is just common Bermuda that grows out in just about any cow pasture around here, just to be honest with you. But there is enough of it. I mean, you see here is more Bermuda here, more Bermuda here. So there's patches. It's not great. I don't think this yard was ever sodded. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna be just super lush and thick being common Bermuda. It's gonna be a little thinner. It's gonna have a coarse blade. But if it was mowed right, it can look significantly better than it does. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna try to get rid of these weeds, the most of them. And we're trying to prevent a lot of weeds with the warm season weeds like crabgrass and things like that are going to be germinating real soon. So we got a pre-emergent in there, we got a post-emergence to help get rid of these existing weeds. And then we will, when the weather starts warming up, probably in April or May, we can start with the fertilizer to get the Bermuda to fill back in. Now, some people have the strategy that if you've got a thin Bermuda yard, should you put a pre-emergent on it? But in my opinion, if you don't do a pre-emergent now, then what happens is you've got so much weed competition that it makes it virtually impossible for the Bermuda grass to fill in. So if we end up with just tons and tons of crabgrass in here, then it doesn't matter how much fertilizer you put out there, there's nowhere for the Bermuda grass to go because there's too much crabgrass competition. So I would rather, you know, put the pre-emergent out, have a thin yard, and then start fertilizing and let the Bermuda grass fill in. So you see, I mean, I was having to search for Bermuda grass on that first time just to see if there was any Bermuda. And it's not all just Bermuda. There's also some centipede in here, which makes it a little bit tricky from a treatment standpoint. You see, oh, this is centipede grass. And to me, when you work on a yard like this, sometimes people say, Jason, should I put a pre-emergent on this lawn because I want my grass to spread? I'm afraid the pre-emergent is going to keep it from spreading. Well, I understand the logic there, but the other side of the coin, in my opinion, is a yard like this had so many weeds, so much crabgrass, that if I don't put a pre-emergent on there, the grass is not going to be able to spread because there's so many weeds, you know. So my theory is go ahead and get my pre-emergent out and try to get the weeds under control so that the Bermuda will have room to spread. And now Bermuda grass is what we're dealing with here, and it spreads really fast and really aggressive, so this may not work as great on other grass types. And there's still problems in the yard. I mean, let me show you. First of all, let me switch back and show you a couple other clips that I did in the past, so you can kind of see what I did to get it to this point. And then I'm going to show you what still needs to happen in this yard. Grasses like fescue or ryegrass. You've got this one that I've been seeing everywhere. It's called field madder. I knew it wouldn't die. There's still a bunch of that left in the yard. Let's see what else we can find that did not die from the initial application. Got some of this. Got some creeping Charlie left in the yard. Got some wild violets. That's dead crabgrass from the previous year. So if I wouldn't have put that pre-emergent out, there would be lots of tiny crabgrass in here that would make it very difficult for this Bermuda to spread. And you say, Jason, the Bermuda grass is so thin, is it gonna fill in? Well, I think you're gonna have to stay tuned to watch, but I feel very confident that it will fill in. I get asked a lot, like, should I put some more seed out or whatever? And if you've got even this little amount of Bermuda, my answer is typically no. Let's just fertilize it and watch it spread. All right, so the fertilizer I'm using today, I buy my products from Harold's. Bag's upside down. Turn the camera upside down. Anyway, this is a 20-3-5 blend. Show you what it looks like. So, you know, just little kind of clear and brown pellets. This is a quick release fertilizer. I'm going to come back later and probably put the slow release polyon fertilizer that I use on my customers' lawns. I'll probably come back in about 6 weeks or so and do that. And that may be all the fertilizer I do, because that fertilizer lasts for about 4 months. So this is to go ahead and get this stuff growing with the warmer weather. We're supposed to have some rain later in the week. And we're just gonna keep checking on the progress of this lawn and see how it works. So I'm gonna spread with that first. And then what I've got is a combination of products in this little handheld sprayer, and I'm gonna spray some of the weeds in the yard. I'm gonna spray some of these tough weeds that the initial application didn't take care of, like the field madder, like the creeping Charlie, like those clumps of ryegrass. So this is 2 products mixed in this tank with some surfactant. I'm using Change Up and Certainty. That combination is very good. The Change Up can help with the field madder, the creeping Charlie, you know, a lot of the broadleaf weeds. The Certainty can help with the sedges. It can help with those clumps of ryegrass or fescue, whatever that is, laying over there. So we're gonna use that combination and continue to clean up. Now there's a lot of untreated areas around here, which I'm glad, because we could be able to continue to compare the treated areas versus the untreated. So let's get started with the fertilizer. I'm putting out a bag of fertilizer for every 12 or 13,000 square feet. So this, just looking at this lawn, is probably about 6,000 square feet. And you say, well, how much nitrogen is in this bag? Well, it's 20% nitrogen. So that first number is nitrogen. It's a 50-pound bag. And if you divide that number by 2, it'll let you know how many pounds of nitrogen are in the bag. So you divide 20 by 2, it gives you 10. There's 10 pounds of nitrogen in this 50-pound bag. So I'm going to put some out here, and we will come back and check on it and see how well it goes after I spot treat for the weeds. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is get my sprayer. I'm gonna go around and spray the weeds that I talked about, and then we'll wrap up the video. So you want to see the yard and you say, Jason, what is supposed to be impressive about this yard? Well, honestly, not that much. But you're not looking at it, because if you didn't know what it started from, then it's hard to know how far it's come. All right, so how much fertilizer are we going to put out? I'm going for 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet, or maybe a little bit more on this yard. So that's approximately 5,000 square foot of turf here. And to show you how much to put out, this bag, let me show you what I'm dealing with. This is a bag from of Harold's, what I buy, it's a 3806. That first number is your nitrogen. It's 38% nitrogen. It's a 50-pound bag. So all you got to do to figure out how much nitrogen is in the bag, because remember I'm going for 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet, is divide that first number by 2. So that means there's 19 pounds of nitrogen in this entire bag. Well, you see what the fertilizer looks like. So the white pellets are the quick release. The green pellets are the slow release. So this is going to last about 4 months. Quick release will give it an initial boost and get it going. The green pellets will keep it going for the next 4 months, hopefully. You know, rain would be awesome as well, or some type of irrigation. So in this situation, back to figuring out how much to put out there, that we figured out there's 19 pounds in the bag of nitrogen. This is 5,000 square feet. So if you want to do 2 pounds for every 1,000 square feet, then you're going to need, what's that, 10 pounds total. Okay, and there's 19 pounds in the bag, so a little over half a bag on this property to be able to put out 2 pounds for every 1,000 square feet for a 5,000 square foot lawn. You know, so basically a 50-pound bag will cover around 9,000 or 9,500 square feet at that rate, 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Now you can put more on there, you can put less on there. You know, some grass types you want to be careful over fertilizing. Bermuda can handle a lot of nitrogen, so it's not going to be a big deal if you doubled that. I mean, if you don't mind growing. Now, you know, too much, you don't want to burn the lawn, and if you put too much quick release fertilizer on there, you're more likely to burn the lawn. But in this situation, that slow release fertilizer releases the nutrients slowly and less likely to burn the lawn. But you know, irrigation or water, rain would be great. So I'm going to set the camera up. We're going to fertilize the yard. What you want to do when you fertilize is you want to go around, make a perimeter pass with the side deflector closed. So you can see on this one, I've got this little side deflector. I can close it like that, and that keeps it from throwing on this side. So I'll make a perimeter pass around the side, throwing it back to the inside, so I'm not throwing it all over the sidewalk and the driveway. And then I'll open this back up and just make my lap. So you can either make your perimeter pass and then go back and forth, or you can just kind of racetrack style it and go round and round and round. So I will probably racetrack style this one. I usually determine that based on the way the yard looks. Sometimes I go round and round, sometimes I make my perimeter pass and then go back and forth. Let's get started right now. Change my mind, I think I'm going back and forth after my perimeter pass. All right, so you can see there, fertilizer, I mean, did the pre-emergent, then there's still some tough weeds. I had to come in here with like change up or to try to knock out some of the tough weeds, and what's still here. Again, it's not a perfect yard, but from what it used to be, you can see here just a bumper crop of nutsedge in this one little section, and sometimes nutsedge bunches up like that. There's still a little bit of crabgrass, so you can see there's some very mature crabgrass that's still in this yard. But I mean, the pre-emergent prevented the vast majority of it. Got a good bit of Virginia buttonweed in this yard, and you know, pre-emergent's not going to do much to help with that. And I could have come over here and sprayed that, and you know, helped it and made it look better. You know, there's some oxalis or yellow wood sorrel. There was a bunch of creeping Charlie up here. I got rid of a bunch of it. You can see there's still creeping Charlie over here against this wall where the grass is real thin. So, you know, it's not a perfect solution. You know, there's still some Dallas grass, and this would be the time here where you got Dallas grass where I could start this fall pounding it with Tribute Total, or maybe go after it with glyphosate when the Bermuda goes dormant. So, you know, there's some more Dallas grass. So you can pound on it in the summer and suppress it, but in the fall and winter is probably your best chance to get rid of that. And again, it's got multiple grass types mixed together. But there was a lot of wild violet in this yard. I got rid of it with quinclorac. Like I said, the creeping Charlie I went after with change up. A lot of the oxalis, and I could have change up would have been a great product probably to get, you know, start working on the Virginia buttonweed at least to suppress it. I could have went after the nut sedge with a sedge product like Pro Sedge or Certainty or Solero or something like that. Would have suppressed the nut sedge. But I'm really happy that the Bermuda grass filled in, and now we got a decent looking yard. And I'm gonna put the fall pre-emergent on it soon, and I'll mix 2,4-D with that, and that'll help with a lot of these broadleaf weeds that are starting to pop up. I hadn't really done anything this yard in months, so when I do that, that'll keep a lot of the winter weeds out, or spring weeds for next year. And then also mixing in it with 2,4-D will also get rid of a lot of the existing weeds still here. So appreciate you watching the video. If you're thinking about starting a lawn business, you want to get into weed control and fertilization, want to get into mowing, mosquito spraying, I've got a lot of resources over at lawncarelife.com, or just click on the channel name, subscribe to the channel. There's almost 800 lawn care videos on the channel. Hopefully you can learn something. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.